Internet dwellers, and welcome back to Top Shelf Disney Animation Studios Library. I am one of your amazing co-hosts. Co-host? Yeah, co-host. That's right. Jeff and thank you, TC, for confirming my question halfway through. I will never get through one of these intros without stopping myself.
It doesn't help. Well. it doesn't help that I interrupt you through it every time. I throw you a curveball every time. You have this whole thing like, "Hello, Internet dwellers, and welcome to the TC."
It's like, well, okay, and that's done. All right, well, and joining me as always, the man who doesn't know.
I don't know a thing about timing, is what you're saying. Because if we know anything about comedy, it's timing.
It's timing. TC joining me yet again. Hello, TC.
Hi, Jeff.
Hi. Well, welcome to today's episode, everybody, or this week's episode, or whenever you're listening to it. It could be 3 a.m, and it could be this morning's episode. I really don't know. That's the power of the podcast. It's timeless.
It's timeless. It's not terrestrial radio. This is extraterrestrial radio.
You and I are the ETs of podcasting.
Which has nothing to do with today's episode.
Not at all. So today's episode, we watched the 1942 Saludos Amigos.
Saludos Amigos.
So right off the bat, I had never seen this movie. We're full blown in territory of a couple of the Disney films where I had no knowledge this existed until we did this podcast.
You're probably not alone there. I'm sure there's a fair share of people who either A, have never heard of this movie, or B, didn't realize it was part of the official Disney library.
Right, because and I'll say this right off the bat, it almost doesn't feel like it's a Disney movie, but at the same time, it kind of does. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Because there's so much live action, it does not follow a narrative. This movie is nothing like the ones we've watched before. It is even very different from Fantasia, which has more narratives in it than what this is essentially a travel brochure for South America.
Right. After watching this, I'm like, how much are tickets to South America? I kind of want to go now. Like, that's what I feel like. I feel like this is a video they would be playing on a television in a travel office somewhere.
Travel agency.
Yeah, a travel agency.
And this movie actually did change the perception. This movie is credited for changing the entire perception that America had for South America. Until this film came out, and this is historical here, until this movie came out, people just perceived Mexico and South America as poor and squalor and just dumb, ignorant farmers just out in the middle of the sticks doing nothing. And this movie presented a first world. At the time, Argentina was the third largest city in the Western Hemisphere.
Which I had to look it up because I'm like, is that still the case?
It's not, right? It's the fourth now.
It's the fourth now. But still,
that's incredible because there is the four cities, the four most populated cities in the Western Hemisphere. New York is number 3, and then Buenos Aires, right? And then number 5 is L.A., and San Paulo and Mexico City are the 2 most populated cities in the Western Hemisphere. I am so Americanized that I never would have thought that. I would have thought the entire Western Hemisphere was American countries with the highest population. Like when I saw Buenos Aires, the 3rd most populated, I was like, it's got to be 50 now, right? Oh no,
right.
Oh no, it's still.
It's 4. It went down one spot, but
one spot. So this movie changed the perception that Americans had for South America. So
which is crazy to think that, like, at that time, obviously there's no, we don't have the access to the information and the technology like. Or they didn't have the access to technology like we do, so we'd be able to get that information. But being in the world where it was the 3rd biggest city in the Western Hemisphere at that time, and nobody really knew that, like, so everybody was just kind of living in this American bubble that they all just assumed, like you just said.
America doesn't live in a bubble anymore, right? No. I mean, we are worldly people now.
We are. We love to savor and sample the cuisines of all countries. people.
You were right though. I had the same feeling of like I want to go to South America. Like
Yeah,
I even started mentally imagining like, you know what? I want to visit the 15 highest populated cities in this country. I've been to New York, I've been to LA, but I'd love to visit Sao Paulo and Mexico City and Buenos Aires. Like this propaganda for travel to South America totally worked.
Oh, curse you, Disney! You totally knew what you were doing.
Decades later, it still worked.
65 years later, and they're still getting you. Did I do my math right? Is it 65? 60? Yeah, that's right. No, wait, 70? Wait, I can't add. Oh my goodness, I am not a math person. Where's my phone?
13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 75 years later.
75 years later. Okay.
I had to use my fingers. I can't do math in my head. I am a writer and an artist, not a mathematician.
I was going to say, I'm not a math person. We've reached that point in the years where it's harder for me to do the simple math equations. Oh, my goodness. So I guess for this film, like, going back to what you were saying, it's not a traditional, it's not in the mindset of what we've already watched for this podcast, the 5 that we've seen up to this point. It's definitely not like anything like that. It is more along the lines of three shorts?
Four shorts.
Or 4 shorts.
Yeah.
That's right, because Donald's first one. Donald's the airplane, and then the Goofy one, and then the one where Donald meets Joe.
Yes.
Now, am I? Yeah, because Joe's in 3 Caballeros, right?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
And he will show up again in either Melody Time or Make Mine Music. He does show up again. And Joe Carioca is the first Latin American character, the first south of the border character as a major Disney character, and he has his fans. This character went on to Joe Carioca went on. He's the Green Parrot. Some of you listening may remember him. Some of you might recognize him if you saw him. But he went on to a very successful career in the Disney comic books, which some of you might not be aware, were huge throughout the, decades ago. But Disney's comic books were huge. The Uncle Scrooge comic books were some of the best-selling comic books. They would outsell Marvel and DC sometimes.
Which is nuts. It's so crazy because when I hear Disney, I mean, nowadays when I hear Disney, I think of, they're buying another property from my childhood. But before then, like whenever I hear Disney in general terms, I always just go, oh, no, just movies. Or maybe the Disney Channel. Like if you really want to broaden that mindset, comics were never a thing that ever popped in my head. Still, even to this day, would never pop into my head. No, but I've seen those Uncle Scrooge comics. I have seen the comic like comic strips and panels from those. I guess I just never put 2 and 2 together and realized oh no, those are Disney comics. Yeah, duh,
well,
of course.
as we both stated, we're bad at math. So if you did try to put 2 and 2 together, who knows what you would get? I
would have gotten Buenos Aires. As the 6th largest country in the world. Yes, I said all that correctly.
So this movie is actually 4 short films, all set and involving South American countries such as Argentina, Chile. I can't remember what the other ones were, but we first visit Lake Titicaca. Pardon my French. Now watch your mouth there. This is a family show.
This is a family show, and you're just spouting about body parts and feces.
Lake Titicaca, which is between Bolivia and Peru, is visited by Donald Duck, and so we get Donald for the first time in a major motion picture. Donald Duck,
which I thought was awesome, and this is kind of going back to like what I was saying in the beginning, that it was weird because I'm like, it's not a Disney movie, but it is a Disney movie because it's Donald Duck and Goofy and
Goofy shows
like it's like all of these these are obviously Disney characters. They flat out this looks the most Disney out of the movies we have watched so far as well.
Yeah, and I compare it to Dumbo in the animation style being much more like a short and less like a gigantic feature. That's the animation,
right? Because like the Goofy moment in it feels very much so like one of the Goofy shorts, my favorite Goofy shorts, all the ones that are like the how-tos, and like how to ski and stuff.
Yes,
I love those so much.
Do you remember the how to quit smoking one?
Yes.
I have a vivid memory of that one, and I don't know why. But to see Donald and Goofy in this movie, and we've seen Mickey in Sorcerer's Apprentice, I feel like that's the holy trinity of Disney characters. Those three right there, yeah, that they're the most iconic and the most known. They've been around the longest in many respects. How come? Actually, I have an answer for this, but I'll ask you: why do you think Goofy is the only one who ever got the most exposure in both two films that are feature length? Neither of them are part of this library, just in case you were wondering, and a TV series. But Donald. Okay, so Donald was part of the DuckTales and Uncle Scrooge comic books, but they cut him dramatically from the TV series. And Mickey has never had a feature of his own either. Why do you think that is?
I almost feel like Goofy was created, and this is my personal opinion. I have no idea. I almost feel like he was created in the style of the average man. Mm-hmm. You know, like if you want to look at, obviously Goofy, he's a little weird and he doesn't quite do things correctly, but he was always, in my head, he was always portrayed as like, he's the character I'm supposed to relate to.
The everyman.
He's the everyday man. He's the everyman. He's the guy that wants to go skiing and you got to quit smoking, like that whole like. And he's got a family. Sports. Oh man, the sports one. So many good ones. But like, I feel like that's what they made him be. Also, he's the one that you can understand the easiest.
There it is right there. I do think that plays a major part in why Goofy succeeded more than Mickey and Donald ever would, because I mentioned this earlier on the Fantasia cast with Mickey, and I will state it again for Donald. Would you really want to sit through a 90 or 100 minute or a 2-hour movie with that voice?
No. Donald was so hard to listen to in the shorts. I could barely understand him. Now, I know in recent years, whenever they have Donald talking, he's a little more not audible,
comprehensible, coherent.
Yeah. You can understand more. Yeah, he still has the Donald voice, but like I didn't write this down as a note, but it was the first thing that popped in my head was, holy cow, you cannot understand a thing Donald is saying.
It's funny. It's funny. Like Donald works as that he's the temper, like he has the temper. He's the temper character, and Mickey works as the heroic good guy character. But Goofy, he's the one you can understand the most. He has the most fun comedy to him. He gets meta humor like crazy, to be knocked over by scene transitions or to be tripped up by the animating pen. That now, granted, Donald does get some of that meta humor as well with when Joe is being painted in front of him and he takes the paint and he draws with it. Like that's some fun meta humor there. But Goofy, like I love the bit of him lassoing the South American ostrich, which I don't know I can't remember what the creature was called, but then let's see that again in slow-mo instant replay. Tell me that isn't what Ace Ventura was referencing when he does his slow-mo instant replay.
Absolutely. Which is also hilarious that for a movie that happened in 1942, for them to have a instant replay slow-mo, which
That's
was
hilarious.
Still before that was really a thing people knew about. Like it was kind of ahead of its time, and it took me till afterwards when I went, wait a minute, this isn't like, if it was from the 70s, that's different. If if this movie was from the 70s, people would be like, oh yeah, okay, they're just referencing sports and let's do the instant replay.
Right, yeah.
But the fact that it was like a good, I don't even know what, like 10, 15 years before like the first like instant replay happened on television. Like that's
a decade, a couple decades at least. Yeah.
So like I thought that was, but I agree. That's you know very well that's what like Ace Ventura was referencing. But it was so good, and yeah, Goofy's bit was the segment that I laughed at the most.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I couldn't stop. I was just smiling through the whole thing because that is such expertly executed comedy, animated comedy. With an expertly handled character. Goofy, there's so much about him as a character that you can play with, that even though you can just do the same thing over and over again of He's learning to dance. He's learning sports. Wants to smoke. He's going on summer vacation with his family. Like it seemingly is the same thing over and over again. It is a well of opportunity to play with a character.
Right. Definitely. And it just, like I was trying to think, like, so that segment made me laugh the most. Mm-hmm. And then the on a slight tangent here, the airplane sequence,
Pedro the plane.
Which I'm watching that sequence going, oh, so this is what Cars was ripping off. Like I realized, I'm like, I never realized that there was those types of characters, I guess, in the Disney world. Does that make sense?
Yeah. There's other shorts, and the Pedro the plane is very similar to this whole thing is just a collection of 4 shorts, but Pedro the plane as the anthropomorphic plane, this started this. So like the eyes on the windshield, the bringing them to life as human as possible. We will see this again in the future of Disney shorts with cars, not the movie cars, but little automobiles. Like there's a little hot rod character car that races a train, and his dad is an old Oldsmobile, and that punk kid with his raccoon tail on his antenna. Like this idea of anthropomorphic automobiles was created right here. Pedro the plane was the beginning of that Disney shorts ended up playing with again and again, that eventually Cars and the movie Planes also played with. So this is the birth of that idea of character.
Which is it's so weird to think that this is where it kind of came from. Was way back in the 6th Disney film that they ever released. Like I feel like that would have been something that they would have eventually tried doing maybe 20, 30 years in, where they're like, well, let's do something new. We've been doing the same thing for so long. But for them to go like 6 movies in, it's like, well, this is a short about an airplane, and then Mama Airplane, and then Papa Airplane, and they're both sick, and Baby Airplane has to deliver the mail, and it's just a postcard. Shh, don't tell anybody. Shh, it's okay.
It's a cute segment. Like it has a nice little narrative. It's a nice, cute little arc. They played with that idea of a plane / being really nicely. Yep. It's a cute segment. I still, the goofy segment is the best segment of this, but this short of Pedro the plane is very classic Disney. There's a lot of elements of this of Saludos Amigos that feels very classic Disney shorts. Even the music, feels very old school Disney animated movie music.
Right. Very old school music, the establishing shots of the maps and stuff like that of where
travel by map, yeah.
Very like traditional old school Disney, but I was like, yeah, that's what I would expect. That's exactly what I'd expect. And I hope that their map of South America is a lot more accurate than their map of southern the southern United States.
Yeah, with the Florida going all the way
over to Mississippi. Man, if I was Alabama, I'd be mad. So just but yeah, no, it was kind of interesting because I didn't know what, like I said, on the last episode, when I found it, I was just kind of skimming through it. And I'm like, oh, there's Donald Duck. Oh, there's Goofy. Okay, that's cool. And I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how they connected. Mm-hmm. So when the movie starts off with live action, I went, what? Oh, okay. Wait. How much of this is cartoon? When does it go cartoon?
When will the cartoons begin?
Yeah. Are they going to go through a tunnel and then show up in the cartoon world? Like, what's going to happen here? I'm really confused. Yeah. But it was very interesting because, it was very informative. It kind of felt like something I should watch in school or should have watched in school.
Yeah. If there's anyone, surely they still show what are the equivalents of slideshows in school, right?
Yeah. Oh man, slideshows and projector films. Oh man.
Yeah. I can remember when I was young seeing those. Even then, I was like, "Wow, this stuff is old. What are they? What's this? A film strip or a slideshow? It's you hear the voiceover like tape lined up with the image, and you just hear the occasional boop, so that the teacher knows to click to the next slide." Anyone young listening to this like now is like, what are you talking about?
All right, kids, go on to the internetarchive.com. You could probably find 90% of these things in the public domain there. They are fantastic.
Oh, boy. But you're right. It does feel like a school, an educational thing. And you know what? I wouldn't put it past teachers to still maybe use this as an introduction today, maybe in elementary school, to be like, we're going to learn about South America and watch the Goofy segment so that the kids are enthusiastic about the material. And then you can say, all right, now let's learn some real stuff here.
Right. Well, and going along those lines, if you think about it, while it's 4 different shorts, the different shorts focus on a different element. Okay, so the airplane one is probably the one that you probably could skip over if you're trying to look for like an educational side of it, like a school, because the first one with Donald, that's introducing animal.
Where is
life.
he again? Where is he again in that one?
He was the first one. I don't know where
he
was.
What's the location? I can't remember the location.
Oh, you're asking me to remember way too much, sir.
You sure? Okay, I was just trying to get you to say Titicaca.
Oh, sorry. That's right. My apologies.
Jeff,
I
you
forgot,
ruined it. This joke is ruined. As you know, comedy is all about
timing. I was going there anyways. But no.
So anyway, you're saying
you get the Donald one, and you're talking about like the educational value of that one is very much so nature and animal life. Then you skip over Pedro, you go to the Goofy, and that's more along the lines of like clothing and like kind of just like a general-ish lifestyle or culture.
Yeah, it feels a little more about the culture of the gaucho, of the South American cowboy.
Right. And then while relating it to a concept that people would understand in this world, because South America is a world away, folks.
It's a whole new world.
It's a whole new world. I can show you the world. I'm not sure why I said it like Christopher Walken, but I can show you the world shining, shimmering, splendor. Anyways, so and then the last segment is sorry, I couldn't stop. I had to keep going. But the last segment is very much so about like the musical culture side of things by introducing Joe, and like it's the music style and the dancing, and it's all like that, like entertainment style. So you could easily like the music department could show just the last segment. Like a 10-minute little short, just about like here's culture, here's like the South American culture of music in some areas, and
certainly, you know,
and I kind of liked that. I actually liked that it wasn't just like if they were going to do the 4 different individual shorts, each short focused on its own thing. It wasn't like, oh, this is another musical section. Okay, this is another that. Like it's something new for each of the segment. And it was entertaining.
I feel like this, you could credit something like this, if not this movie, as a forerunner to what the Cat in the Hat series is now, or what's the one with the little hamsters? I can't remember. They're like,
I know,
you know what I'm talking about. It's someone listening.
I know
knows
what you're talking about. Yeah,
but
all the parents out there listening are like, it's this.
With those, this is a forerunner to something like Cat in the Hat, where it's let's go on an adventure with children and educate them about Africa and the savannah. Let's educate them about New Zealand. Let's go to Antarctica, and this idea of traveling to this place and educating about it, and that's good. That is. We have on every episode discussed are these movies appropriate for children? And I think this one is very appropriate for children and those who are maybe uncultured, who need to give it. And it's strange because this is a 75-year-old movie, but it still, we said it already, it made me want to travel. It made me want to experience these places out of sheer curiosity to see what they're like today.
Well, and like at one point in video, they were like showcasing area, like parts of the city, and they're like, and this is like the main Capitol building, or like the Congress is. And I went on Google Maps, I looked it up, and I'm like, yeah, it still looks like that. Like, well, obviously it's grown a little bit, technology and advancements in the world in 75 years.
Right.
But I'm like, oh yeah, like I found it. I'm like, oh, this looks kind of cool. It'd be cool to visit and. Oops, just kicked my mic over. It's okay.
Get that mic.
Get that mic over there. Random voices, random loud voices. So it's, but yeah, like it definitely did. I would definitely agree. This is very much so appropriate for children because it's just it's a 45-minute education film about South America.
Yeah. The tough thing is that because this doesn't have an overall narrative, it does fall into a similar, not problem, but a similarity to Dumbo, which was kind of a weak plot, and Fantasia, which was scattershot of different plots, although Fantasia certainly has a theme that links everything together. So this, again, we kind of are in a unique area with this sixth film, and how do you compare it to the other films? But it's not bad. It's not bad at all. In fact, when it first started out in the Donald segment, and it was very travel video, video brochure, I was like, oh boy, I know this is only 45 minutes long, but it's just going to be tough to get through. But each segment was enjoyable in its own way. It kind of ends on a lame note that just it's over.
Thank you for saying that, because I was taking a couple notes. I looked down for a minute and I looked back up and it was the end credit. I was like, wait, it's done? Like, I know it's only 45 minutes, but there was no actual ending.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of felt like they're like, we're finished. Okay, lights on. And moving on with their life.
We are still, and we will see this for several films, at least the first 10 Disney movies, like up till we get to number 10, which is Ichabod and Mr. Toad. Mm-hmm. The war and the financial stress of Disney Studios is going to show. These movies that we're watching aren't going to be the classic Disney. These are not the movies we're going to be watching, including Saludos Amigos here. These are not the classic Disney movies that put Disney on the map.
Right.
Snow White was a fun experiment. Pinocchio was neat. Fantasia was an interesting idea. Dumbo was only a success in that it didn't cost a lot. Right. And the stress of the studio is going to show. And I think it shows here. However, whereas Dumbo, it showed in cutting corners and not having as detailed of ideas, they showed how to stretch a budget on this one, because for what it is thoroughly entertaining. There is some neat stuff here. It feels like a time capsule watching it now. And
it took them 3 days to get to Argentina in an airplane. In an airplane.
A prop airplane. Yeah, because we're in the pre-jet era. Like, there are no airliners at this point.
I stopped it. I went, how did it take them 3 days to get there? What did they do? Walk? And then I went, oh, wait a minute. This is never mind. And then I realized.
We're still in propeller planes here, man.
Yeah. But I'm like, holy cow. That's nuts. I think there was because that's one of my only notes that I took for this movie, and I'm like, I wanted to know what the hellacious layover they had. Then,
oh my god! Yeah,
for a 3-day flight to Argentina. It's like, well, we're flying you to O'Hare, and you're going to be there for 2.5 days, and then we'll fly you to Argentina.
No, man, it was a different time back then. Heck, there was the segment with the plane. Why that probably it feels more like just a short and less about educating about the area. They weren't allowed to have cameras there.
Oh, that's true. That's right.
I didn't look into why, but when they that segment, when they were discussing visiting that portion of South America, cameras weren't allowed. So they had to go off of memory for painting and animating everything, which is that's interesting.
It's just funny in that the segment where they weren't allowed to have cameras and take photographs is the segment where they were literally, like you said, they were having to do everything from memory, and they were probably in the plane for the majority of it. So they wrote a short about a plane. Like, that's exactly what they did. Yeah. They're like, well, we're in a plane, so let's write a story about a plane.
About a plane,
yeah.
Like the mountain as the threatening mountain in that short is how they perceived it. That they looked out the window and they saw this menacing mountain, and they made a character out of it, which then led to the plane itself.
Which is so weird. And I'm really curious to know. Like, I'm trying really quickly here to look up to see why they couldn't take photographs there.
They couldn't film there.
I can't. Yeah, I can't. I have no idea why. There must have been something going on at the time.
Well, if anyone out there listening might know, or if they find it, and they can obviously put it in the comments section on the Facebook page for Top Shelf. Or you can tweet at Jeff at Random Bell, or tweet at me at TC's Big Head. But were there? Oh, go ahead.
No. Go ahead. You're doing all of this stuff, and I like when you do all this stuff. I'm just here for the wine.
Well, I'm going to prompt you in that. Were there any Disney tropes or what are the? We've discussed the tropes, like the Disney first and the Disney tropes. Like, were there any in this one?
There really wasn't anything out of the ordinary or out of anything crazy. Basically, like you said, we already discussed it. Like, it's the first theatrical appearance of Donald Duck and Goofy, and it was the first anthropomorphic vehicle. Or like inanimate object, I should say. Not inanimate object, because technically Pinocchio is a puppet.
Is an inanimate object.
Is an inanimate object. So, but it's the first time that you see like a vehicle or something like that have a life and a mind of its own.
Yeah,
that would probably be the first for this one. It was so short, there really wasn't much.
You're right. Yeah. And in watching these 6 films so far, I'm just getting this growing appreciation for Who Framed Roger Rabbit because of the detail they went into referencing the history of Disney and Warner Brothers. And think of Benny the Cab. Benny the Cab comes from the same, I'm going to call it lineage, as Pedro the Plane.
I like to think that Benny the Cab is Pedro's like distant third cousin or something like that. Like, they're all related, you know.
That's
hubba. Sorry. Yep.
That's Carist.
Oh, you know.
And there's something else that I'm looking at my notes and I'm wondering, and I'll ask you, of all the Disney movies that we've watched so far,
I can't believe I let you fool me again, TC.
I did. Sooner or later, I'm not going to trick you, and you're going to see it
I
coming.
know. And I'm going to ask you first.
Of all the Disney movies we've watched so far, how do you rank this one?
So this one was tough. I was driving around earlier today, and I was trying to think about this ahead of time and not leave it to be right before we started recording.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's really hard to say because of a lot of the stuff that we've already talked about. The fact that my opinion is that this is a Disney movie, but it's not a Disney movie because it's not what you think of as a Disney movie. Which
all the live action, yeah.
Right, which kind of hurts it in my book. The saving grace for it, though, is the Goofy segment.
Yes.
And the Pedro segment was very well done. Don't get me wrong. The narrator was getting into it at one point. And then I loved how beautiful the when they introduced Joe with Donald, like just the whole watercolor painting. I'm a sucker for whenever a cartoon shows the artwork being drawn.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, like there's Warner Brothers shorts that are like, I love those things so much. They're so good to me, or so entertaining to me. But those are not enough personally to save this movie, and it's going to be number 6 on my list.
Oh, all right. So that makes your order Pinocchio. What's your order now? Snow White,
Pinocchio, yep. Snow White, Bambi, Fantasia, Dumbo, and Saludos Amigos.
We've finally hit a crossroads here, Jeff.
Oh, fantastic! We have now.
I am going to put my order as Pinocchio, Snow White, Bambi, Fantasia, Saludos Amigos, then Dumbo.
Ooh.
I'm saying it because, like, going into this before we started recording, I was on the fence. I felt like, Saludos Amigos was going to be my number 6. But as we've sat here and talked about it, and I've realized we've had much more to talk about than we did in respect to Dumbo.
Right.
And it's that Goofy segment. I just love Goofy so damn much that for that alone, I'm gonna make it my number 5.
All right. We have a different order, everybody. It took us 6 movies before we found a different, and it's really only off by 1.
That's only how. Yeah, it's not like I made it number 2 or anything.
Yes, and honestly, the reason why it's where it is on your list is the same reason why it's like for me. Like, it was the Goofy segment. That is literally the segment that was in my opinion, the best part of the short or the video.
Like, I do love
Goofy.
The music in Dumbo's like Baby Mine will always bring a tear to my eye, and I still love See an Elephant Fly. But I feel like if Dumbo was on, I'd probably ignore most of it. But with Saludos Amigos, it would hold my attention in the Goofy segment, in watching Joe come to life, in just watching the the archive footage of what it was like in the 40s to see people smoking on planes and
I know.
Like that
Smoking
element of
on
it.
a plane. Oh my goodness. You were in a closed box with other people and you're filling it with smoke. What is wrong with you people?
It's because everybody smoked. Yeah.
I know, everyone smoked, and if you didn't smoke, you're a weirdo. Probably a commie.
Commie. Red. Better dead than red.
Or actually, this is the 40s, so it wouldn't be commies and reds yet. It'd be Krauts. Sorry,
Krauts.
Is that racist or anything? I don't mean it to be racist by all means. I just with the time, it's
patriotic, Jeff. It's patriotic.
Yeah. I'm a patriot. I cannot sing the rest of that song.
It's it's a close tie, but I'm going to put Saludos Amigos edging out Dumbo to make it my number 5. So now we have a different order.
We have a different order. It's gonna be fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to these next couple of films because, like you were bringing up, and it's a good point. These next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more films are very much so not the classic Disney, like you said. It's not until we reach number 12, that's Cinderella, that we actually hit
Disney.
Like the Disney. Because after that, it's like you look at the movies, you're like, yep, that's Disney, that's Disney, that's Disney. You know that those are the Disney movies. And that's when they really hit their stride, like pumping out quote unquote classic Disney films.
Yeah.
But we're in that bank of films that, it's hard to get a copy of because they might have released it on DVD years ago, but they don't really have them.
VHS rollovers that you have to like dig through the internet to find.
Exactly. Like it's hard to get some of these films, and it's interesting to see like, well, yeah, there's a reason why, because these are the ones that aren't really classic Disney films. It's because of the war. So it'll be interesting to move on with the rest of them. So, well, with that, is there any comments we had from previous weeks that we wanted to bring up or talk about? Was there any comments on the Facebook, sir? Did you have any by chance?
I got one tweet from, who is this from? Titami. I got one from Titami who said, "I've never heard of this movie." That's it. It's hashtag Saludos Amigos. I've never heard of this movie.
That's perfectly good. That's completely okay. I'm in the same boat. Do not worry.
Yeah.
And then I do have one comment on the Facebook from Brad Daniels, which I responded to this. He was responding back for Bambi from last week. Nothing about Saludos Amigos. But from last week for Bambi, his comment was, I think the memory of Bambi's mom dying on screen and seeing the hunters could be partially due to confused memories with the deer scene in another animated classic, Iron Giant. I started thinking,
he's right. Okay, you're saying no. You're saying no.
No. I feel like that's right. I'm completely on board with that opinion.
He's got it. That's totally right. I never even would have thought of that until that's it, Brad. That is what we've done, Brad. We have repurposed the footage from Iron Giant and put it in Bambi.
Exactly. Now, and I was thinking about it earlier today as well, and you did bring up a really good point about the idea of Bambi getting shot. Mm-hmm. Even though he was just injured, he wasn't killed. I think it's this cultivation. Cultivation? Is that right? Combination. Let's just say the word combination. That makes more sense. It's a combination of people like remembering like bits and pieces of when Bambi got shot, and then when Bambi's mom gets killed, and then the Iron Giant sequence. Like I'm sure it all kind of just meshes together, and it forms this phony idea in everyone's head about what actually happened.
Who would have thought that a child's memory would be so unreliable?
You know what? They're usually the first ones to go to for character witnesses and trials, aren't they? Like they know everything.
He was a bad man. He was a bad man. He killed a deer.
Your Honor, I rest my case. He didn't say anything.
He was a bad
man. Well, that's all that I got for this week. So
yeah, I think we knew going into this, seeing it as it is a 45-minute movie, that we wouldn't have as much to say about this as we would about other movies of this library.
Right.
But I am curious to hear what the listeners have to say. And again, I'll plug our Twitter. You can Twitter pate at us.
Yay, Twitter fate.
At Random Bell, at TC's Big Head, or you can hit up the Facebook page, which the URL is.
Do you remember it, or do you want me to say it?
I'm going to let you say it.
Okay. I was waiting. I was like, are you going to say it? It's
Timing.
facebook.com/topshelfpod. Oh, yeah. Okay, now, TC, it's very important. I got to ask you a question. What order did you put this movie? Oh, damn it. No, I can't do that. It's too late now.
You missed it.
I was only about 15 minutes too late.
Yep, there we go.
Well, everybody, so that's all for this week's episode. Next week, we are moving on to a movie that I have many, many fond memories of as a child, and I'm really hoping that my childhood brain is not going to let me down, and that this movie turns out to be horrible. Next week, we are watching I guess you can kind of consider it to be a partial follow-up.
Yeah, I wondered about that. Will we be able to consider this a sequel? Because last week I said the first sequel we'd see would be Rescuers Down Under. But depending on what Three Caballeros is like, maybe I was wrong. Maybe this will count as a sequel. But I don't think it will be, and I don't think it'll be considered a sequel.
No, I don't think so either. Reading up online really quick, it looked like basically the reason why they brought Joe back was because he was so popular in Saludos Amigos, and Saludos Amigos did so well, for at the time, that they're like, we can do more, and then they just brought two of the characters and then introduced a third one, which is totally not Woody Woodpecker.
It's totally not. He's a rooster.
Totally.
He's a rooster.
Obviously. But so that is next week. Three Caballeros. I cannot wait. This is going to be exciting because I want to know how much I remembered. I'm really excited to see if I'm like, oh yeah, this. Oh yeah, and this part. And then this. Or if I'm just like, I have no memory of this film at all.
Well, I would like to point out one final thing. You know what? Maybe I'll save it for next week. Yeah, I'll save it for next week. It's going to be something in regards to this movie and Three Caballeros. But there's a little teaser for a really lame joke I'm going to make next week, everyone.
This is going to be exciting, and you know what we're going to do? We're going to hold off on the joke until the last second of the episode, so people have to listen to the entire episode first.
I will assure you it's not going to be worth it. But thank you for listening, everybody.
Thank you for listening, everybody, and glad you guys could join us again. Like TC said, leave all the comments on the Facebook and the Twitters and all that fun stuff. I think I have a temporary close sign-off, TC.
Ooh, okay.
It's nothing Disney related.
Oh, all right.
So then I'm not even going to bother.
No, you got to do it now. I left people hanging. You can't leave people hanging. So with that, Jeff will sign off with a pleasant.
Stay random, everybody.
Yeah, I like that. There we go.
That's my thing. I guess that's my thing. Until we can figure out what your thing was.
Until next time.
Next week.
We'll be right here.
There you go. That's what it was. I like that one. That was a lot better than mine. I need to make mine Disney oriented.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody. This has been a production of Ghost Hat Media, proud member of the Ghost Hat Network. Find them online at www.ghosthat.net.
I like the ending.
Damn you, decent Yeti microphone. Easy, Chewie. I am not the Han Solo of this relationship at all. I'm more like the Neum Yum of this relationship.
Neum Yum.
Yeah.
There is a true test of someone who's figured out who they are as a person, who they can admit they actually are in the Star Wars universe, not who they want to be, because everybody wants to be Han Solo, right? Yep. Everybody wants to be Han, or everyone wants to be Extended Universe Luke, Dash Rendar, who's not even a character anymore.
That's true.
Boba Fett, who never really did anything inside the movies, right? But if you can truly admit who you actually are, that is a true test of character right there.
I think I'm either Neum Num or I'm Captain Nita.
But Captain Nita dies.
Right. But I mean, he came out a little too close out of hyperspace, so he was a little ambitious. He cared a little bit too much, and then it was ultimately his downfall. I feel like that's me in a nutshell. So
there you go. I want to think that I'm R2-D2.
That'd be awesome, though, to be R2, because then you could swear and no one would know, except for 3PO. Except for the one person that speaks your language.
Yeah, like I don't honestly think in the grand scheme of things I'm the main character in my own story, but I am the one who's there for everything, and I'm willing to retell the story. But I don't think I'm as anal retentive as C-3PO or as much of a complainer. I do think I'm along for the ride, but I do complain as much as R2 in a sarcastic manner. So therefore, I think I'm R2-D2.
That's good. That's good. It's good that you went with the character that will never die. That is, and that is universally loved by everybody. I am a character.
I used to be able to fly, and now I can't. You're a character.
My characters are the people who show up for 4 lines and then are gone forever.
No, see, I think you're reliable enough and you're grouchy enough.
My Watto?
And you're funny. I think you could claim to be Chewbacca. Because is there anyone more loyal than Chewbacca?
That is true.
Yeah, I think
I thought you were
when
going
it comes
for,
down,
I thought you were going for Watto. I'm like, I'll be Watto. They're like,
Eddie, I used to be rich, but the Jedi screwed me over. Now I'm super poor. Flies.
One broken wing. I'm okay. I picture him doing like little like hand jab from the waist, like and he's doing that too.
Yeah, no, you're way cooler than a Captain Nita. You're cool that you reference Captain Nita, but
I suppose it's true. I have been known to rip the arms out of one socket when you make me angry.
Yes, yeah, you do. You have a temper in you, but you can still, despite your temper, be funny. A la Episode 7, he is the funniest character in that movie. I think
he is, and he has no lines. No actual lines of dialogue.
Yeah, and depending on the trajectory of Finn and Rey and Kylo and the new characters, you very well could be a Finn.
Oh, I suppose
we don't know.
Like, that's true.
We don't know. But for now, we'll go old school. I am saying you're a Chewbacca, and I'm R2-D2.
Now that's an adventure I would love. The shortest character matched with the tallest character in Star Wars.